So you found yourself on the Purple Planet. It's dangerous to go alone. Here, take one of these. This is the box set for Peril on the Purple Planet. We're going to talk about it today. Hello everybody, Jordan here, the PH is silent, and today I want to talk about some more Dungeon Crawl classics, specifically this boxed set of Peril on the Purple Planet. This is a campaign setting for a weird future, maybe like Lost Civilization planet that your players can get to. It comes with a level 0 adventure and a level 4 to 6 hex crawl adventure. Really super cool. We're gonna dive in and look at a lot of the stuff in here. But it's funny, I found an article online and they said that this came from a very popular Kickstarter. Jumping over here, this is the very popular Kickstarter, which 807 backers pledged $61,000 to make this happen. And this was like amazing back in 2015. But hopping over here to their 2021 Dying Earth Kickstarter, $229,000. So they've knocked it out of the park and they're doing really good. Again, this isn't sponsored. I just thought that was funny that they were like, this was a super successful Kickstarter for this module or this box set. And then now it's come a long way. So what is this? What is Dungeon Crawl Classics Peril on the Purple Planet? Well, I got into DCC a little later than other people, and I was looking at, does Dungeon Crawl Classics have a set campaign setting? Like I should be running my campaigns in Greyhawk or something for DCC, and it doesn't. And I think they're purposely keeping it ambiguous so that you can play however you want in whatever world. And the idea is that I buy an adventure and I can plop it down in a longer running game, or we can just play that single little adventure. There's no need to have a big overarching story. This is a little different, as this was so popular, and it's the first time that, not the first time, sorry, I think the Chained Coffin was the first time that you got like setting advice. But this book this box set comes with some adventures, some settings, and then a bunch of player resources and new items that you could incorporate into your game. And I could be wrong, but this has a bunch of technology in it, and I feel like this was the precursor to Mutant Crawl Classics, which is a post-apocalyptic game using the same rule system as DCC. So what do you get with this? Why is this so important? Usually you buy an adventure and it's a 4-hour adventure for level 2 or level 3 or 1 or 0, but this was a longer running game and kind of proved to people that Dungeon Crawl Classics was more than just one-shots. I think a lot of the core DCC players knew you could play long-running campaigns with it, but other people treated DCC kind of like you just play a 0-level funnel and like, oh, that was really funny, my character almost died, and then you just move on. Or it's like, hey, I've got this level 3 thing, okay, and everyone rolls up level 3 characters, and it doesn't really matter if you die. But in this one, it does matter if you die, because this is your level 4 character that has hopefully survived other things. So let's take a look at what's in this box. You get a DM screen. You get the main adventure, number 84, a level 4 adventure, Peril on the Purple Planet. And then you get, I want to say beefy, it's not that beefy, but this is the companion. So this has a whole bunch of information about the Purple Planet for the judge. You get the level 0 adventure, which I forgot the name of, Escape from the Purple Planet. And you get kind of like side quests. So while they're going through their hex crawl in Peril on the Purple Planet, here are some extra adventures that you could use if you want to within this setting. And then this is something that I thought was really cool. These are player handouts. So specifically, this is a smaller one that has just some information on NPCs and things like that. And then this is kind of like they're cataloging their way. Like, what monsters did you see? You can write it down. What do the mushrooms do? It's really cool. And then finally, there's a new playable race / class called the Kith that are native to the Purple Planet. And this is like a little chart for them to have their Kith. It's the Kith critical hit chart. So that's, yeah, when you score a critical hit. And it all comes in a nice box set. So to go through some of this, I want to say that I have not actually ran this. I want to. But from what I was researching, they really, I mean, you can play however you want, but the idea is that your players are really powerful at level 4 or 5, And they somehow, through whatever means the judge wants to have, they get transported to this purple planet. So this is kind of like a good resource in the sense of like, oh, we're in my homebrew world and we're going here and here and here. And then all of a sudden it's like, you know, that random table that says that they have a teleport accident. Where do they wind up? Well, they wind up here. And it's a weird desert kind of dune planet with a giant purple sun in the sky that just beats down on you and causes lots and lots of problems. Your whole goal of this adventure is to survive and somehow escape the purple planet. Now, what's really cool about this is there are these really, there's magical green shards kind of throughout the entire place. And your mission, as you soon find out, is you need to collect 3 of these giant green crystals. And then with that, you can power a teleporter that will then take you home. There's very, very few of these giant crystals still intact, but there are lots of like little crystal shards. And you find out that you can use these for spell burning and for other things like that. And you can also power some of the ancient technology that you find. And that's another fun thing about this adventure and reminds me a lot of Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, which was an old D&D module that you start running, and I won't spoil it, but there's like lots of technology there, and people were kind of like, this isn't D&D, it's not fantasy. Like, why do I have a space laser? This harkens back to that very, very well. Yeah, so here's the introduction. We have the summary of the key plot elements. The PCs can return home by bringing a complete greenstone or 25 greenstone shards to the Pyramid of the Ancients. So they don't need 3 of them. I think there are 3 of them scattered throughout the world of the Purple Planet, but you need just 1. Yeah, there are only 3 complete greenstones, as they call them. So you got to find shards in the Purple Planet, and the Purple Planet is inhabited by a warlock race known as the Kith, and you kind of have to choose sides between the 2 warring Kith people. Very, very fun. And the purple dying sun in the sky, if you're out there during the day, that weird purple radiation or whatever, the sun, drains 1d3 stamina from you. So you don't want to be caught outside, and there's a lot of underground stuff that happens as well when you are exploring this planet. So here, kind of your players start. We have the giant evil sun in the sky, mountains, lots of mushroom, and Kith fighting one another. This is a hex crawl, so we do have random encounters by terrain type. Super fun. If you're into hex crawls, I think they did a really good job. If you're one of those players or judges who are not into hex crawls, I would encourage you to try them. They're lots of fun. And this is what I love. So this is the player's map. You start at this pyramid, and they don't really know what's happening. In the player's guide, this is their map. So they start here, and then you just have a whole bunch to explore. This is the full map. And these are all fun, crazy things you can go to. And it's done in a really cool, creative Dungeon Crawl Classic style. And I love it. I think it's really fun. And this is in your book, but this also comes as a PDF, and you could print this out in sections and tape it on your wall if you want, as players are exploring and going through all of this. So I don't want to like page through all of the adventures themselves, but there's robots, there's laser cannons. You can activate a lot of these power or these technological things with the shards. So you have to decide, do you collect enough shards or do you use these to save your life? It's really fun. I think it's interesting. And there is obviously a way out of this planet, but it really is just exploration and surviving. And that's the big thing. So here's our giant thing again, but I wanted to go over to the Purple Planet Companion. So in here, it talks about some of the mysteries of the planet, and then the Kith. So you can kind of get a review of the planet and what's happened there. And you as the judge, if you know that, you're interpreting it, and little seeds of information is getting put out to your players as they go through it. But this is really fun because it talks all about the Kith and the different types of Kith and everything like that. And there are these weird, savage kind of, I don't know, orcish looking creatures. And this is what I want to talk about. So we have a whole backstory of the Kith, and the Kith are the natives of the Purple Planet that people are going to interact with your players. If a player dies, they could have the option of coming back as a Kith, because there's probably not a lot of humans, but maybe you find some running around over here. And I thought this was really cool. So you have the same kind of character generation as a regular player, but yeah. And then it comes along with a class. So you have hit points 1d10, weapon training. You're trained in a battle axe, club, hand axe, longsword, bunch of stuff. So for armor heavier than hide, a Kith suffers a check penalty on the armor's AC bonus. So there you go. There's alignment, wilderness survival. Every Kith that survives to adolescence has learned skills necessary to wilderness survival. Kith immediately recognize poisonous mushrooms or fouled water. Force of will. Kith triumph where other creatures succumb to fear, exhaustion, and pain. The strongest Kith are those driven by indomitable will and savage determination. A Kith gains bonuses when expending personality. So you kind of, instead of spell burn, you have personality you can burn. The Kith rolls a burn die when he expends personality. The burn die is indicated on the Kith class table below, and for each point of personality expended, he rolls 1 die and applies those points to a single roll or check. For example, a second level Kith who burns 2 points of personality receives plus 2d3 to add to a single roll. These points may be used to hit or damage rolls, strength checks, or fortitude saves. And additionally, wounded Kith may use burned personality to recover lost hit points. The Kith's personality score is restored each night by a number of points equal to his level. This cannot take his personality score past its natural maximum. I like that. So it's kind of a melee twist on things, on Spellburn. So level 1 to 10, your attack 1 to 10, and then your crit table, yeah, you're good. Action die, you get 2 actions at level 5, which is fun. And then your burn die goes up as you are using it, so you can get some really high numbers. Kind of cool. Especially being able to use this on damage. And then this is where we get into kind of the fun stuff of the lost tech of the ancients. So the relics that are on this planet, this ancient technology, can be activated with these runes, but players need to mess around with it and activate it, and then record that and remember which rune does what. And it seemed like it was really encouraging the players, or the judge, to have the players like, no, have that sheet out and have them push the button, and you know who pushed it and who's got the thing. So when calamity ensues. This companion sheet, as they find these magical items here, they can write down like, okay, this one did this, or this one made it blow up, or this one did this, so that they can figure out which of these are working. So relics are activated according to their type. Are they tools, weapons, vehicles? They all have their own activation sequence. Every relic is going to have all 8 of those runes on them. When the PCs experiment with relics, place the rune handout before the players and note specifically which runes are touched and in which sequence. Only 3 runes still perform their original functions. Until the activation rune is depressed, none of the other runes performed have any function. However, once a relic is activated, depressing the other rune can lead to disastrous effects. If a relic begins to self-destruct, the countdown can be made aloud or silently as it pleases the judge. In playtests, hurried attempts to shut off the runes resulted in players depressing several runes at once. In at least one case, the relic was deactivated and then reactivated and then caused to self-destruct again. So our Gunner's Helm. Now it activates on an 8, functions on a rune 1, and you deactivate it with a 3. When the helm is activated, the lenses on either side of the nose slot open. When deactivated, they close. The function rune must be pressed to rotate the discs to the next lenses. Rotating the discs count as 1 action during combat. So I activate it, I can put it on my head, it works, and then I have to hit rune 1 to switch it between those different things. That's really fun. So as a player, I would go here and be like, okay, this rune, and this rune, that's what it does. And you want to write that down. And it's just fun for the players to get immersed into the actual Purple Planet. I really like this. It's just mood ring. It's just a mood ring. So going back over here, I was looking for things that might blow up, and I couldn't find any. But weapon activation, the ray guns or rifles is what it sounds like here, or ray rifles. Sorry. Ray guns and rifles are fired by triggering rune 6. If a rune other than 6 or 3 is triggered once the relic is activated, there's a 25% cumulative chance that the relic malfunctions and green flames wash down the weapon, and anyone holding the relic takes 1d7 points of damage per round. until Rune 3 is touched. If the relic isn't deactivated by the end of 1d12 seconds, it dissolves into silver liquid, searing anyone carrying the relic. So there's some explosions that can happen throughout it. Peril on the Purple Planet. Do you like your fantasy to have some sci-fi every once in a while? I don't know. I do. I think it can be kind of fun, especially if you're doing a very heavy fantasy game, as long as your players are open for a good joke. But like Expedition, just like Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, kind of a similar feel. It wasn't everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody was excited to have robots and space doors and things like that. But I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords. That's it, everybody. I just wanted to highlight some more of this. I think the next one that we'll talk about is Lankmar, because I have that box set as well. So let me know if you've ran Purple Planet, if you think you're going to get it. I'll put links down below if you're interested. Thanks again for watching and subscribing and sharing all of these videos with your friends, and I'll see you